Well, hello again, everyone. So it's been only a week since my last video. I have a bit more time on my hands, as do many of you, I'm sure. And so I am taking the opportunity to communicate some of my thoughts. First of all, because of the recommendation from the Oregon Acupuncture Association and other state and national acupuncture organizations, I have decided, after all, to close my clinic for the next couple of weeks amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. So this is a very interesting time, and it's brought up a lot of things for me to think about, and I'm sure for most of us. Uh, Top of mind is this is not how I intended my sabbatical to go, that I have for many years hoped would happen at some point. Being self-employed, any extended time off is a rarity, and usually it's filled with lots of activity. Make big plans to go somewhere and stay busy when I'm there, and as soon as I get back, I'm back in the office. So this is an interesting time where no, we're not going anywhere, and in fact, we're not doing very much at all. Um, so I'm getting to turn my attention to my inner practice and my some projects at home that I've been working on. The main thing I wanted to talk to you about is that this is a precious opportunity for don't know mind. So what does that mean? The Korean Zen master Seong-san was famous for his directness, and there's a book where he answers questions from his students. At the end of each answer, he always says the same thing. He always says, just go straight, only don't know. So, what is he talking about? Well, of course, if you're not interested in Zen or spirituality at all, this probably will just be gobbledygook to you. But if you are interested, this is a bit of what we talk about at the Center for Sacred Sciences, where I teach as a lay minister and spiritual teacher, as a labor of love. This is part of Hiromi and I have this affiliation that we spend a lot of our energy giving freely of our time, giving spiritual guidance to people and being part of a community. And our teacher still teaches, and so we're lucky to have a vibrant community that has been a bit on hiatus because of the pandemic. We've been doing some Zoom meetings, but we haven't had our Sunday programs for about a month or so. In any case, that's the background on where this is coming from, and here we go. So the reality is that our mind, meaning our thoughts, come and go within awareness on their own. In other words, you're not in there saying or thinking or willing the next thought. It arises spontaneously. So if you look at your present moment experience right now, you will notice that thoughts are coming and going, maybe interpretations of what I'm saying, or you're just hearing the words in your head, or you're thinking about something else entirely. But whatever those thoughts are, they're not under your volition. They have a mind of their own. So, what is under our volition? This is a very interesting question. Now, what can be said is that our attention is the power of our awareness to hold objects and to direct where the next series of objects will be arising. For instance, If you want to, you can pay attention to your hand. You can feel what it's like to have a hand. You can put your attention into your fingers and touch your fingers and feel the sensations of the fingers. And while you're doing this, you might notice that you're not really paying attention to your feet. Now that I said that, you might be paying attention to your feet, and you can notice your feet and what they feel like on the ground. In my last video, I recommended that everybody feel their feet if they're feeling fear, because it's a good way to ground ourselves. But for this exercise, we're not worried about grounding ourselves. We're actually just coming from this simple curiosity of what is attention. So I'm thinking of my feet, and I'm feeling my feet, and then I might notice that I'm no longer paying attention to my hand. So attention moves. It's the power of awareness to have objects and to guide our attention, or guide the area or the realm of which we will be having the next series of objects arise. In that sense, it's also called intention. But this is a little bit different than volition. Volition is the sense of will, which we're not going to get into in this video. But for now, what I wanted you to notice is that you have the power to direct attention to the body, and of course to the environment, but most importantly, to your own mind. Now, when you're paying attention to your mind, this is known as mindfulness, and it gives us the ability to notice that thoughts are arising or not arising. Now, in general, we're not in a state where thoughts are completely silent. That's a type of meditative state it's possible to be in. Sometimes I'm in it, but it doesn't last. It's not permanent, and we wouldn't want it to be. It's not the purpose of meditation to have no thoughts whatsoever, because then you wouldn't be able to live your life, balance your checkbook, and walk up and go to the bathroom, for instance. So, what is the purpose of mindfulness? What is the purpose of meditation? The purpose is to notice that thoughts condition our experience. If we are suffering, if we are having a negative experience, meaning that we wish things were different than they are right now, which might be the case for you, it's because you have, technical term here, reified a thought. Taken it to be real, or a series of thoughts, or a story. So, Zen Master Sung San's advice of only don't know, just go straight, only don't know, is to recognize that the freedom that we all have lies in the thought-free undergarment, underraiment, underlying ground that thoughts arise in. So when we're in a state, or in this case a time, a global experience where we're not sure what's going to happen next, this is actually a fantastic opportunity to recognize that the mind is trying to fill itself with thoughts but can't find something that is really going to be true. Now, the reality is that no thought is true, but they're useful. And when we run out of useful thoughts, there's two basic ways we can go. Either we can go into anxiety, or we can go into repose, which is a state of relaxed mind, easy mind, don't know mind. It's not that you're not having thoughts, it's just that you're open to whatever's coming next. You're sitting back, enjoying the ride, allowing thought to show you what it's going to show you, but not particularly interested in any of it. We don't know what's going to happen. What's going to be in the news tomorrow? What's going to happen next week? In my case, I've got 2 weeks blocked off the schedule. I just finished calling everybody on the schedule for the next 2 weeks to tell them, you know what? I'm shutting down. This is what's been recommended, and I'll call you in a couple weeks. I literally have no plans for 2 weeks. When does that ever happen? To me, never. I've always been good at filling my calendar with things to do, good, bad, or otherwise. But now, really, nothing to do. What an opportunity. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to spend as much of the next 2 weeks resting in don't know mind as I possibly can. And I hope that if you have this opportunity, you will take it as well. And if you guys are interested in more videos, hit me up with a comment or a text or an email or whatever. If you have a subject you want me to talk about, like I said, I got next to nothing going on. Be happy to make a little video if it seems that people are interested. All right. Best of luck and health to everyone. And until next time, peace be with you.